This is by far the coolest, most informative, high-quality power bank that you can buy right now, and I'm going to tell you why. When's the last time you pulled a regular old boring power bank out of your book bag and somebody looked at it and was like, wow, what is that? That's right, it never happens. Unless you have the Storm 2, and I can pretty much guarantee that anybody that sees it will be thinking or says just that. This is SHARGEEK's Storm 2. It's a 25,600 milliamp hour power bank with its own built-in operating system. How cool is that? Now it's the coolest because you won't see another power bank out there that looks just like this. The transparent outer shell allows you to see all of the inner workings of the device and kind of gives it that cyberpunk look. It's the most informative because the smart power control system clearly displays not only the battery level, but also the battery temperature, input-output voltages, wattages, amps, battery cycles, and more, right on its colored IPS display, so you can check the status of your Storm 2 at any time and have everything under control. And it's the highest quality because of the parts and materials it uses. From the Samsung batteries to the components used in the PCB, SHARGEEK didn't cut any corners on quality to make sure you had the best product possible that will continue to give you the power when you need it most. It's also equipped with 2 USB-C, 1 USB-A, and 1 DC input-output port. It can charge up all your devices and gadgets at once safely and reliably. The Storm 2's 25,600 milliamp hour high-density battery can be recharged in just 1.5 hours, and it supports various charging protocols such as QC, PD, and PPS. You can charge anything that uses a USB port such as electric camp coolers, drones, camp lights, and more for the ultimate power solution anywhere you go. And also featuring a 100-watt USB-C port equipped with Power Delivery 3.0 fast charging protocol, Storm 2 can provide enough power to laptops with the PD charging function. Other ports like USB-A support nearly all fast charging protocols and can charge any mobile device quickly. Its massive power comes from 8 lithium-ion high-capacity battery cells that are 3200 mAh each, manufactured by Samsung. The Storm 2 also owns a complete built-in protection system, which includes overvoltage protection, short circuit protection, and extreme temperature protection. It's equipped with the safest Samsung lithium battery cells, the UL954A, and a V0 classification fireproof PC chassis. Safety is SHARGEEK's first priority. And when you get the Storm 2, you also get this really nice storage bag to keep your Storm 2 from getting all scratched up, as well as this really high quality USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. So now that you know all that, I'm going to go into more detail on how the power bank actually works and what all is actually displayed on the little IPS display here. So if we take a closer look at the device here, as you can see, it is airline safe and it's only 93.5 watt hours, which is under the 100 watt hour limit that the airlines set for power banks. Now the power bank does have an auto shut off feature, but it takes about 20 minutes for it to shut off by itself if it's not being used. So if you want to conserve power, I would definitely tell you to manually shut it off when you're not using it. Now, if you want to turn the power bank on, all you need to do is press and hold this little yellow button here for a couple seconds, and the OS will start. So here's all the information that is displayed on the IPS display. As you can see in our little power display here, it does have color signifying the battery percentages. If it's between 100 and 70%, it should be green. Anywhere from 70 to about 30, it's yellow. 30 all the way down to 5%, it's red, and 5% below, it's black. Here we have our voltages, our amperages, our temperature of the battery and the PCB, and it also has a timer, so whenever you have something plugged in, the timer will continuously count to let you know how long something has been charging. Now on the other side here, we have our input and our output. So when we have something plugged in to charge the power bank, it'll show you the watts, voltages, and amperages that the power bank is using. And then here at the bottom, we have our output voltage, amperages, and wattages. Now there's a menu option that you can access once the power bank is turned on. All you need to do is hold the little yellow button in for a couple seconds. And here we have our settings. As you can see, you can change the setup for the DC output. You can plus minus a volt. You can plus minus 0.1 volts. You can turn the DC output on or off. So here we have our battery information. You can see the voltages for each pair of the batteries, the capacity of the total power bank, how many cycles it's been charged, and the total battery life of the device itself. Since it's brand new, we're at 100%. Next up, you can change the temperature units from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Here we have our timer reset, so if you want to reset the time that it's been counting up, you can also do that. Here you can make the IPS display sleep after 1 minute, 5 minutes, or you can always have it on. You can also change the display direction depending on how you have your power bank oriented. Here is the power off, where you're going to power off your device when you're not using it, and then the X will just take you right back out to the main portion of the IPS display. Now, another really cool thing that the display will show is anytime you plug in anything into the USB Type-C, the DC port, or the USB Type-A, it'll also show you which one of those cables has been inputted, and if you have more than one cable inputted at a time, it will cycle through each cable to show you the voltages, amperages, and wattages that each cable is using. It'll also show you the total output that the power bank is outputting. Now, each one of these ports does input or output a different voltage. The USB Type-C here is capable of inputting and outputting 100 watts max, and it supports Power Delivery 3.0. The USB 2 is only capable of outputting 30 watts max, and it has support for Power Delivery 3.0 and Quick Charge 4.0, which phones like Samsung, Xiaomi, and Huawei use. The USB Type-A port here is capable of outputting 12 volts at 1.5 amps, and the DC port here can input and output. The input is 24 volts at 3 amps, and the output is 25.2 volts at 3 amps. And in case you're wondering, the whole weight of this power bank is about 1 pound 4 ounces or 579 grams. And in case you ever forgot those input-output voltages, they do have them printed right on the side of the power bank here. As far as build quality goes, this power bank is definitely by far the best built that I've ever tested. Each cap on the end of the device here is made of solid aluminum. It doesn't feel cheap at all, even though it does have that clear plastic. It's very thick and solid, and there's no flex at all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plug in my MacBook Pro 16-inch using the USB Type-C, and we'll see what kind of information we get on the display here. So as you can see, the little notification for the USB-C 1 showed up, as well as the little icon right in the top left-hand corner. And as you can see, it's ramped up now to about 61 watts. We're running at 20.28 volts at 3.03 amps. Now when I plug in my iPhone into the other USB-C port, you'll see what I'm talking about when it cycles through the different wattages, so you can still see what's going on. So here I have my iPhone plugged in. As you can see, now we have two icons showing me two things are plugged in being charged. So as you can see here, even though I do have two devices plugged in at one time, I do have my MacBook Pro still charging at 61 watts. There's our little timer here. As you can see, it is counting up because I do have things plugged into it. And if I want to cycle to see what the iPhone wattage is, all I need to do is press the little yellow button in once, and it'll cycle over to USB-C 2. As you can see, the iPhone is pulling 8.5 watts, 5.2 volts, and 1.63 amps. And if you want to see a total of how many watts is being outputted, press this again, and as you can see, it changes to total, and we're outputting almost 70 watts. And it also has a roll option, so if you have that set, it'll automatically just keep cycling through each thing that's plugged into the power bank. So as you can see, it just switched over to the MacBook. As you can see there, it just cycled over to the iPhone. You can also use all three ports at one time if you need to charge all of your devices. Now you can also charge the power bank and charge your device all at the same time. As you can see, I still have my MacBook plugged in, but I changed ports to the C2. Right now it's only charging at about 28 watts because the port can only do about 30. So now I'm going to go ahead and plug the power bank into the power to charge it up. And here, as you can see, the input has now lit up. So we're charging the power bank now at about 56 watts, and we're outputting about 28. I'm definitely a nerd when it comes to stats as far as charging devices goes, and of all the power banks that I've ever done reviews for, this is definitely my favorite by far. If you're looking for a really cool quality power bank, I would definitely recommend taking a look at the Storm 2. So if you guys want to pick this up, I will be putting a link in the description. And if you guys like me and you want to support my channel, please use those links because it helps me keep purchasing products to do reviews for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell to let you guys know when I put out new videos. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Later.